All right, coming up tonight, we got more on Zelina Vega being released. Alexa Bliss engaged. Cody Rhodes wants to bring back chair shots to the head. That's right, I said that. Moxley announces to the world Renee Young is pregnant. Raw, Dynamite, PWI #1 ranked team. Much more to come. I am Boxman. He is Smark Wahlberg. This is Dirt Sheet Dudes. Plenty to come. Let's do it.
After it's all said and done, you're going to be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got some fat asses. The only chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, you need to run lickety split. But you can't run because you're fat asses. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal-looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the gyms alive. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the arm tomorrow night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know I know he loves sugar. But I checked my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none!
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal, I'm the man.
Look at a match for the total package Lex Luger and Super Brawl. Super Saturday, what is it? I don't know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Bowl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keeps winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha.
I hate God! Hit the double! Yes! They love you, Scott Steiner!
Today, woo, I've got the star and profile like never before.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
What's going on, everybody? How is it going? Hope everybody's having a good night. I am Boxman, like I said before. You see, we have a ton to get into. And I don't know where I had Smark on here for a minute. I looked down and took a drink. I looked up and wasn't on Skype anymore. But we do have a shitload to get into tonight. Like I said in the beginning of the show there, more on the Zelina Vega thing. There's Smark. Give me a second right now. There is Smark. We got Smark back now, I believe. Smark is not connecting. But yeah, we got a ton of stuff. Alexa Bliss engaged, like I said. Cody Rhodes, yes, he does want to bring back chair shots to the head, and I've actually got a little audio on that one right there that you're going to be able to, you'll be able to hear his words, not mine, his words, on how to bring back chair shots safely to the head. Yes, yeah, safely to the head. Not sure if that's even possible, but we will definitely get into all that. Gonna start off with a little bit of Raw. Hopefully we'll get Smark back in a minute or two here. If not, that's fine. I've got plenty of notes, plenty of stuff to get into. But before that, I guess I'm going to go ahead and let me see what I can do. I will go ahead and knock out plugs, kind of kill a little time, see if we can get him back in here. Otherwise, I got this. But let's see what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and find a song to play for you guys that we can rock out. Well, you guys can hear it. I really can't, but it doesn't matter. Let's see here. What are we going to get? Here you go. What a little blues traveler in the background. How about that? There you go. A little bit of that in the background. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the plugs. And, of course, that means the high marks. We always start out with those guys, good guys over there. Think those guys want to come on for the Royal Rumble. I know it's a little bit away, but we'll go ahead and plug it now. And we're going to have all three, Cheeseman Mojo and G-Wiz here watching the Royal Rumble with us. So that should be a really good time. So always be hanging out for that. But you can check those guys out on Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Network. That's right, 2 T's in Mitt. Mixer.com/Metal Mitt Network. Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, to Bobby Anthony and Bobby Blades, definitely on the Inhuman Experience. You want to check out that show. Subscribe to that channel. It is that show and much, much more. Find them on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. Great guys over there. Eric, Doug, Daniel, a whole cast of characters. Definitely want to be looking for them. Find them on Blog Talk Radio, Fridays, Sundays. But you can just subscribe to them on all the usual podcast platforms also. And Stephen Milan, I appreciate you sharing the show, buddy. Letterboxd.com/Stephen Milan is where you can find him reviewing films over there. There's 2 L's in Milan when you spell that. And do not forget to subscribe, rate, and review all the shows, including this one. You can follow us on Spreaker. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/DirtSheetDudes. Twitter, DirtSheetDudes. Email, guess what? DirtSheetDudes@gmail.com. Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, TuneIn, Player FM. Anywhere you want to hear this greatness, you can find it wherever you get your podcast from. And there you go. All right. There we go. Looks like I got Smark back here this time. Let me drop music. Smark.
I think so.
Keep those plugs going, Smark.
All right. Well, as always, Monday, 8:30 on the Metal Minute Podcast Network. We got Cheese and Sports. And last, but certainly not least, have our friends at Planet Wrestling Tour. The Planet Wrestling Tour podcast with Bobby Anthony, with your nasty and with Papa Dave Sincere. Check them out wherever the fuck you got your Stern podcast.
There you go. Get that mic a little more in front of you there. A little low. But get that going. Oh, yeah, that sounds better already. But all right. So we got that done. Smark, good timing. Plugs are done. And I was just about to start getting into Raw.
Very good.
Yeah. My notes may be a little long. But I'll simplify them as we're going here. But anyway, let's go ahead and start with Raw. Let's just get right into it, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre.
Fast you can get into it, fast you can get out of it.
There you go. That's definitely it. We get Drew McIntyre starting off cutting a promo about Survivor Series and Thanksgiving, and tells us what he's thankful for. Don't you love it?
It was very nice, as it was very reminiscent of like the elementary class where you go around the room and just everybody has to say what they're thankful for. Like, I'm thankful for my puppy and my mommy.
Yeah. I don't think I ever said that, but
well, your descriptions might have been a little bit more detailed than mine.
Well,
you might have been more thoughtful.
Don't ever remember calling my parents Poppy and Mommy, but anyway, my dad probably would have killed me anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But let's get back to where we were here. Literally already off track here. But yeah, it wasn't bad. But definitely saying how he needs to look beyond the doubters. We get Orton up on the Tron telling us he's thankful for being a 14-time champion. Talking about how WWE just fined him, and I believe I heard him bragging about suspensions, Smark. Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up, Smark. Get in that fine spot and don't breathe, sir. Get in that fine spot. No more breathing after you find that spot. But yeah. You get Randy bragging about suspensions. And he's still there after that. You know why? Because he's the best wrestler ever. Man, he really slowed that one down, didn't he?
That's right.
Yeah. Go
ahead. He sure did. I was surprised because, what I was saying was, you're right. He was actively bragging about how he suspended more times than anybody on the roster and how he's still there and how he spent more time on his couch because of aforementioned than half the roster.
Yeah, you're still breaking up, man.
Fucking
shit. But yeah, he did. He basically, like you said, he said he was sitting on his couch more than anyone else because he's the best wrestler ever. Drew, of course, cut a fiery promo. This show really was based around Drew a lot. The whole show, basically. Miz and Morrison came down to annoy the living fuck out of me.
Their sole purpose.
Let's be honest. Nobody talks like those guys in real life. People only talk like that in coming-of-age high school movies.
I think that's just their shtick. They're like the high school bullies.
I don't like it. I don't buy it. But Miz will be down there, and Morrison will be down there ringside for the main event. But anyway. Look, Raw wasn't horrible. There was just some why the fuck did you do this moments on Raw, I will say that. Like showing literally and counting the 8 weeks that Lana has gone through a table. 8 weeks, Smart.
Right.
8 weeks, Smart. Oh, I'm sorry, make that 9. We will get to that. It is 9 weeks now, don't worry. But yeah, Lana's in back talking to Shayna and Nia, telling her, I earned my spot, and we're all laughing along with them. I was. Were you? Were you?
Certainly was, yeah.
And then Nia told Lana, don't even tag in this match, okay? Just stand there. Basically, just stand there and yell, Rusev Crush. That's all Shayna wants her to do.
I kind of I felt a little bad for her, I won't lie.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what they're doing. They're trying to get you they're trying to build some sympathy for her. And oh my God, it's working? Is it working for you, Smark?
Maybe a little bit.
All right. I guess it is. I
feel bad because it's basically puppy. Like you just stay there. You don't get in the way. Don't screw this. Like it's like the little brother you don't want screwing up your video game.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You give him a controller that's unplugged.
Exactly. Yeah, but I'm still not building sympathy. This wasn't a horrible match here. It was, let's see, the match was what? Nia, Shayna, and Lana versus Dana, Mandy, and Asuka. Mandy and Dana both are out of Survivor Series, replaced with Lacey Evans and
Peyton
Royce. Another one bites the dust for Nia.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll leave it at that. But Smark, a lot of live read for Head and Shoulders commercials on this show, huh?
Well, it is important to have dandruff-free hair.
We got at least 2, maybe 3 on this show. Live reads for the Head and Shoulders.
Well, now that you say that, like, do you remember when they used to do like they would show the commentary table, and it'd be like Jerry the King Lawler would be eating like fried chicken or fucking just drinking a big ass can of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, like one
Like
month
reminded
after.
me of that.
Yeah, like a month after his heart attack, Jerry's down there eating fucking Sonic burgers and drinking fucking Dr. Pepper, and that caused a little stir, and it should have, but fucking Lawler, man. Fuck, man. He's like, fuck that. I died on air and came back. Fuck you people. I'm gonna die happy. Goddamn it. Give me a burger and a 14-year-old. Fuck it. All right.
The American way.
Well, Tennessee, I guess. Anyway, Memphis. You know, that's.
I was gonna say I don't know if I appreciate those accusations.
Sorry, Smark. But Lana, of course, had to get involved in the match. Asuka got her in a submission. Lana loses the match for him. And guess what? Yeah, 9 weeks put through a table. This is foreshadowing either Lana winning or this team losing to just some bullshit internal stuff. But I got a feeling Lana's going to come in and win this match for him.
I so badly want there to be a spot during the match where she gets put through a table and just kips up because she's fucking vulnerable to tables at this point.
Well, we're going to get back into that table a little later because, man, Nia knows how to put someone through that table. Meanwhile, that table no sells for Randy every fucking time. We'll get into that. We will get into that, most definitely. But, yeah, that match was, I mean, you knew Lana was getting, as soon as they told her not to get involved, you're like, oh, so Lana's going to get involved. Yeah, I mean, you knew this was happening. You knew she was going to lose. I don't know. But we will do predictions Friday night, everybody. Because I believe there's still one or two more to pick for the SmackDown women's team. Isn't there?
I'm not sure.
At least one, maybe two. I don't know. At least one, though. But anyway.
They usually add at least one, yeah.
Yeah, I know there's still at least one for the women's team for SmackDown, so we'll see what happens there. Because I think there's only three. I think it's only Ruby. There are two more picks, Sasha Baron Corbin is saying. There are, because right now it's only Ruby, Liv, and is it Bianca Belair?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only three they got for him right now. So two more still to pick, so why bother? We'll do those picks Friday night and knock them out then. Less for us to get into tonight. But this match we did see an injury angle for Mandy since she's out. Shayna did her little arm thing that always looks good on the stairs. That always does look good, man. It does look brutal.
Mm-hmm.
It does. And the camera angle they usually show it at makes it look even worse because they're like down on it. So I don't know. It just looks pretty bad. But after all that, after that clusterfuck of a match, Mark, we get to the backstage segment with the men's Raw Survivor Series team, which seems to be more of a variety comedy act.
Sure does.
Than a team. Riddle sticking with the nicknames. AJ found out Jordan spoke English in this. Looks like I'm losing. Got Smark back. Yeah, AJ found out that Big Jordan spoke English in this little segment here.
Which really begs the option if you weren't speaking to him.
What was that? If you're not work speaking to him, what?
If he didn't know that he talked, how did he recruit him?
Yeah, listen. It's WWE. Let's just skip this segment.
I do kind of like the idea that him and Riddle are just friends for no apparent reason.
Yeah, it's weird shit going on back there, man. There's weird shit, and this whole Sheamus and Drew thing, which we're going to get into in just a minute here after the Hurt Business match, but this little Sheamus and Drew thing is confusing the living fuck out of me. I don't know if it is to anybody else, but it's confusing the fuck out of me. But
well, they are, for whatever it's worth, like shoot friends.
No, I know.
Like they kind of came up together and everything. Okay.
That's great, wonderful. But Sheamus is this huge heel, and Drew is this huge babyface.
True.
Neither
that's what I was wondering.
Yes. Yes, neither
Sheamus
shall the
was
two.
face now.
Yeah, neither shall the two meet. But I don't know. Looks like they just don't even give a fuck anymore. But hey, who am I to say? But there we go. That was that little segment. Reckoning, or Mia Yim, whatever you want to call her, took out Dana Brooke backstage. So looks like we kind of got both of them going to be out for a while. At least they didn't have Nia take out Dana Brooke too. That just would have been, par for the course.
Dana Brooke gets beaten up, and then Nia just comes in and just dislocates her shoulder.
Yeah, that would have been just perfect. Par for the course, like I said. Just start playing another one, Bites of Dust again. Now, talk about this little Firefly Funhouse segment, Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I want to say Alexa looks like she's having the most fun I've ever seen her have in this character.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're giving her an opportunity to kind of spread her wings.
Yeah, and she is a true kind of like a horror fan, which, has been her character for a while. So this character sort of fits right in with what she was doing anyway. But yeah, you're right. It does let her spread her wings a little bit. Bray wants a match with The Miz tonight. And to prepare him, the Funhouse characters test his agility, his spelling, not sure why, accuracy, and of course, Ramblin' Rabbit gets killed again. Ramblin' Rabbit is the Kenny of the Firefly Funhouse, obviously.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
He's got kids.
Yeah, found all that out, and but it's okay. Come on, he comes back to life. Like I've said before, these are all figments of his imagination. Now, both of their imaginations, which... Anyway, whatever. Whatever. But I like the chemistry these two have in their segments right now. I think I never thought Bray would need someone to play off of. I know he always had the family, but he always did the talking mostly. But she plays off him well. He plays off her well. They've got great chemistry together in what they're doing right now. So
yeah, they really do. I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah, I have too, man. I really have too. But the Hurt Business comes out after that, Smark.
Yes.
We get Cedric and Shelton coming on down with MVP. The New Day come down. Shelton reminds us why he doesn't talk very much.
Every time he cuts a promo, he does that.
When Bobby Lashley could be the talker of the group, that's scary. But yeah, look, Benjamin is a fucking he's amazing in ring, but he was never a good talker. Even back in the whole gold standard thing where he was cutting lengthy promos, I never thought he was a good talker. I never did. I thought he was much better with someone talking for him.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him because that really... You could tell that they really wanted to put him over, like back, I want to say about 2005 or 6 or so, or back when he beat Triple H, when Triple H was champion, and then he had that lengthy match with Shawn Michaels. Like, they really had a lot that they wanted to invest in him, but he just was never able to do it as a talker, so it just didn't work.
Yeah, exactly, which... how hard is it to get a guy like that a mouthpiece? A guy that talented in the ring, look. Well,
they did.
I know.
If you remember.
I do. I remember. But, yeah, I do remember. There was a Kobe Bryant line in there.
Oh, no, I was talking about his...
Oh, that's right. When his mother came down, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. You're right. But all right. Where else? Oh, I liked the match, but I got to tell you what took me out of the match. It was a little kid in a red shirt.
Okay.
And he was reacting to every move, and I couldn't take my eyes off him. And then they came back, and he was gone, and there was some girl with a replica belt over her shoulder beside a guy with a replica belt over his shoulder. So I guess
the world's saddest love story.
I guess it all made sense. Yeah, they didn't know they were beside each other, but anyway, Cedric damn near killed himself doing 3 fucking tope suicidas outside the ring. That third one, I barely had any fucking steam on it. That wasn't good. Did you see those, Mark?
I was amazed because he just kept going. Yeah, I did. I was laughing because he just kept going for it. He like messed up the first one, so then he went for the second one, then he went for the third one, and like the probability that he didn't end up injured, it was staggering. I couldn't believe that he managed to be safe.
Yeah, by the third one, it was like, ooh, you got no steam left, buddy. But I do want to say in this match, one of the things that caught my eye and I really liked was the creativeness of a couple of the tags. Some of the, like when he did that last dive outside the ring, Cedric, he tagged Benjamin on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. I forgot the one that Kofi and Woods had another good one too, where they did some sort of dive and it was a blind tag. There was some pretty creative tags in this match. New Day did retain. And I saw a lot of people complaining about the Hurt Business losing online.
Yeah, I honestly, by the end of the match, I didn't expect them to win. But like we talk about a billion times, like I think the key to a good match that you think is them to be able to entertain you despite the fact that you kind of know what's coming. And by the end of the match, I wanted the Hurt Business to win.
Yeah.
Shelton was off. He was putting in a lot of work in that match. He was doing like all kinds of just all over the place.
Shelton's a bad, like we were just saying, he's a bad motherfucker, dude. I've always liked Shelton, and I really felt bad for him in ROH because Charlie Haas's drinking was bringing him down.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, that was unfortunate. There was also another thing that happened in that match that I always like. I always like when there's like a big match scenario and somebody uses a move that they don't normally use. Speaking of Shelton, we had that with him, right? Because he hit that angle slam on Kofi. I think it was Kofi. Try to pick it up. I like that. And I like how they kind of played off of Shelton's previous tag experience, like him imparting that on Cedric to kind of match the experience that the New Day had as a team.
Right. Yeah. It sounds about right. But like I said, there was some good creative shit in this match. Not just the tags, but said the stuff you mentioned right there. And Benjamin, man, just like I said, the guy's a fucking talent and had some pretty. Like I said, Haas brought him down a lot, and I guess there was rumors that Haas was like literally going into matches drunk and shit like that, which I don't get. I don't know how you could go into a match after drinking just the sloshing around in your stomach like that. That would make me sick, dude.
There's been a lot of people, from what I understand, that have done that.
Oh.
I was actually listening to Tracy Smothers talk about Terry Gordy, how he would just be like flat out on his ass, and then like the music would start, and he'd be like, "All right," pops right up and does his thing.
My God, man. Yeah, I mean, what did Scott Hall say? I never went to the ring drunk. I didn't want to have a belly full of booze in the ring. I don't blame him for that, man. Mm-hmm. Smoke a joint, go to the ring. X-Pac did it almost every fucking match. Never hurt him.
Yeah.
Never hurt anybody.
Do cocaine like an adult.
Yeah. Please give some to Orton while you're at it. Anyway, after all that whole Hurt Business thing, we get into the Sheamus and Drew backstage. I got into that. Was a weird combo, but Sheamus presents Drew a treasure chest, Smark, with which he opens, and we see his old gear in it. And then he presents Drew with a Celtic sword. Is it Celtic or Celtic? How do you say that?
Celtic, I believe.
Is it Celtic for us Americans? Okay.
It's weird because it's like Celtic, but then there's a basketball team, it's the Celtics.
The Celtics.
It's the same shit.
But then again, it's Boston. They don't really know how to fucking speak there anyway. Listen, I was born there. Back the fuck off, people. They don't know how to fucking talk there. So maybe I just... Anyway, you say it how you'd like. Meanwhile, I have a sword kind of like that. I'll take a picture and post it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/dirtsheetdudes. I will. I'll take a picture of it because I've got one in my room. under my mattress, actually. Yeah, you're really in the wrong house if you come in here.
There you have it.
If I can't get to the gun, I'm getting to a Celtic sword placed under my bed. Trust me. You're not getting out of here. You're not.
I feel like the sword is the go-to. That should be like number one option. Because like, what's one thing if somebody pulls a gun out at you, but then with a sword, like you're leaving that house.
Yeah, and I mean that's a story to tell right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he comes in and I break up my sword. People go, whoa. You say sword? So yeah, sword. By sword. Yeah. But yeah, I'll take a picture of that. So it almost looks as if they're taking a few steps back with Drew in order to go forward with Drew. Would you agree with that, or?
I can't disagree with that because I have no idea what the fuck they're doing with this.
I don't either, but that's the only thing I can think that they're doing. And I mean, obviously, we're going to get to it in a little bit here. But you know what? Let's just skip past this and then Retribution promo, fucking gobbledygook. Fucking,
much.
You know, I guess over the weekend, I've got a little 3-minute video here. I could play it. I could play some of it. We could break it up if you want. I guess Retribution and Ali took over WWE's Twitter over the weekend. Did you see any of this or hear any of this?
I have not.
Okay. My first question is, if you took over their Twitter, you're not going to have music placed behind you. But anyway, let me go ahead and play a little bit of this. Like I said, I'll play some of it, and as characters switch, I'll stop it. How's that? There we go.
Is Mustafa Ali, and this is Retribution. And we have taken over WWE's Twitter account. And I know what you're thinking. I could have just hacked this account, right? But I thought this would be a little bit more fun. And I promised all of you that the truth will be heard. And I am a man of my word. And the truth is, you forgot us. You abandoned us. You created us.
Okay, so that was Ali, obviously. Now, the music is so boisterous that it's literally, you can't hear some of what they're saying. You notice that, right, Smart? So let's just say you took over WWE's Twitter, hacked it, man. Then I don't think you're going to have this music behind you. But that was Ali. That was Ali.
I do like the idea of him just like starting like a boombox that just has music, like the mysterious music sting playing.
Oh, there you go. Maybe that's what happened. There's a little boombox in the back. There you go. Playing Ice-T or something. Right. Maybe Ice Cube. You never know. One of the Ices, maybe. But now we get Mia Yim. I'm sorry. Reckoning. Here we go.
Did you think that I'd forget? You were the ones that chanted for me to be here, and the company listened. I tried to fight for what was right. But within a year, you all turned your backs on me. No, I didn't forget. And now, every female in that locker room will get their day of reckoning.
Came to WWE with nothing but hopes.
Well, hold on. Okay, so that was me again. Or I'm so, reckoning. Day of reckoning. There we go. We got that. See that, Samar? You like that?
Mm-hmm. So she's going to give them all an GameCube video game? The Day of Reckoning?
Maybe. That's a possibility. Didn't think about that. Now we get Dio Madden. But I got to say, these guys being like possessed minions just doesn't... Why? I mean, I get...
Agreed.
I mean, I get they were, like, forgotten, and I get it. Dio Madden has this, like, predator look to him, and he's kind of acting like a predator, and, you know, but they're all acting basically like fucking Shane Strickland, Killshot. They're all acting like Killshot from fucking Lucha Underground. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There's no telling.
Okay. I mean, it does add to it, especially Dio Madden with the Predator shit. It does add to it. Hey, Sensible Sam, thank you for stopping by. Been a while.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Definitely nice to see you stopping by. But okay, Dio Madden. Here we go. Come on, Dio.
In dreams. But only in a place like WWE can someone who looks like me, with my pedigree, with my background, be overlooked time and time again.
Oh God, I love this computer. Hold on a second.
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe the point is that they make themselves look unpresentable, that they're trying to clash with the idea of like what the standard that the WWE wants their people to look like is. That's the best I could give you.
Maybe. No Antox, we're not on AEW yet. Let me see if I can get this to play a little more. It just stopped right there.
One day I got a glimpse of hope. An opportunity where there had never been an opportunity. Only for it to be taken away. Now you tell me, would that not turn any better?
And they were showing the Brock Lesnar thing about the opportunity being taken away, where Brock put him through the announce table there. So they did bring that up. And we all remember that because he just kind of disappeared after that. So, all right.
They're building up to the between Dio Madden and Brock Lesnar.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing that.
Me either, honestly.
Yeah, I would not mind seeing that one bit. But here we go. Let's see if we can get a little more of this to play.
Into a mace. When I started.
All right, now we get. Is it Slapjack Shane Thorne? Slapjack?
So yeah, Slapjack.
Slapjack. Listen, if your day's going bad, just go, hey, my name could be Slapjack. Just remember that. Here you go. Maybe.
Tried to earn your respect, but all I was met with was ridicule. I was left broken, a husk of who I used to be, until I was found, reshaped and made into a weapon. A weapon.
All right, and Facebook says they're having trouble playing the video, so let's go ahead and shut that off.
Even Facebook doesn't want to watch Retribution promo.
Even Facebook is like, what is this gobbledygook?
God, this is fucking terrible.
What the fuck did you do? Anyway. Oh, shit. Anyway, like I said, Retribution this weekend did that. They took over the whole, the Facebook, or I'm sorry, Twitter. Excuse me. I'm old. You know, the Twitter of
Retribution now on MySpace.
Retribution, yeah. They may be. He probably hacked that too. But anyway, we did get a Retribution match here. Finally, we got a Retribution match, another one. It was Team Raw, Braun, Sheamus, Riddle, Keith Lee. AJ was not in the match. He was on commentary instead. We get another live read right there. Bam, Head and Shoulders. I mean, let's face it. With that head of hair on AJ, perfect time to do that spot.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That is a great flowing locks. He probably uses Head and Shoulders himself. Now, I know the sorry. The producers really like showing that Riddle kicking those flip-flops off in show mode, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. There we go. But obviously dissension with Team Raw, which lets Retribution finally get a win. They've been bitched out for what? A month and a half? 2 months now?
Yeah.
They finally get a win. Good for them. Good for them. Finally getting a win. But yeah, there we go. Like I said, though, I'm just not sold on this Retribution thing, man. I'm really not. They could win every fucking match. It's not going to fucking sell me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what you could do with them at this point. Like, they started off in a hole, and in the last month or two, it just kept digging and kept digging and kept digging.
Well, to me, they can keep digging. They're not fucking selling me. It's just not working. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be an asshole, but that's just the way it's working for me. Nikki Cross, blah, blah, blah. Jeff Hardy. Let's get to the Jeff Hardy thing. Starts off backstage. He's seeing posters with Elias, kind of wanted posters.
I love the line of questions from the interviewer.
Yes.
Jeff, does seeing this make you upset?
Exactly. Like she's some fucking psychologist. How does that make you feel, Jeff? I mean, it's almost. They should have just plugged in the thing from Saturday Night Live when Buckwheat got shot of Alfalfa. I feel hurt, and you remember that?
Yeah.
I forget it. Bad joke. Anyway, now 555 Amen was the phone number posted. All of Elias's recent songs all have religious names and overtones to them. Is he a religious man? Is he a born again? Dude, I don't know if that's part of his. It's not part of his character, is it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right. So anyway, I don't care. Religious, he's a religious man. That's fine. But I got to say, those songs were good. I liked those songs. They weren't bad. They really weren't. He actually, like I said, the guy can sing and play guitar. So he's one up on a lot of the guys that come out there and do that gimmick. He's more than one up. He's fucking like two up. I did like Jeff going and confronting Elias though, and losing his shit, putting Elias against the wall, saying he was proven innocent.
I know this means absolutely nothing, but this was the best promo Jeff Hardy has ever cut.
Mm-hmm. No, it was. I agree. This was the best Jeff Hardy I've ever seen. I would like to see this Jeff Hardy more often.
Yeah, because it's like, where was his passion for the last, fucking 15 years?
This is losing his shit. I need a beer, Jeff Hardy. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Just to mention before I forget, the Jeff Hardy picture is as the Undertaker. He looks like Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka.
Yeah. I had you have not told me that it was Jeff Hardy, I wouldn't have believed that it was Jeff Hardy. And had you told me that he was not trying, I wouldn't have believed that either.
Yeah, he looks like Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka, which I love that movie, by the way. So I'm not making fun of anybody. But if he was trying to do Johnny Depp, that would be amazing. That would be a great fucking character right there. But yeah. There was that, and I agree, man. I would like to see more of this aggressive. I'd like to see aggressive Jeff Hardy. I'd like that. I think we deserve more. I'll put it that way. All right, let's go ahead and after that, we've only got a couple more little segments here. The Miz and Morrison thing with Bray Wyatt. Miz tries to get out of the match. Alexa comes out and just simply says, "He says no." Nikki Cross comes out begging Alexa to choose, and Alexa slaps the shit out of her.
Which, I mean, as a career move, that was the best way to go.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's like, would you rather be weeks ago or somebody who spent 2 months losing women's championship matches?
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. But Bray did come out. Bray skips to the ring arm in arm with Alexa. Once again, they're having so much fun in this character. But
and I like it how when he first came out, and he kind of did this in different ways throughout the match. Mm-hmm. He just stared fucking bullets into Nikki Cross for trying to take Alexa away from him. Yeah. And then just after a minute or so, he just turns around and, like you said, he starts skipping to the ring.
Well, he even looked at Adam Pearce let fucking go of her.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. But yeah, I did like that. But and then I mean Bray is blowing kisses to Alexa, during the match and everything. But and did you catch Bray doing the movie neck break move?
I did not.
He did. He did. I like that. I like that little move. And then at one point, Morrison tries to get involved, and then you hear Alexa scream. Next thing you know, Morrison's over the guardrail.
And then the whole right after that, he just like went absolutely apeshit on Miz and like just started doing like MMA style, like hammer fist on him.
Yeah, but I've never seen Alexa jump like that before, man. I'll tell you what. I think that says exactly why this Ryan Cabrera guy went ahead and locked that shit up. They got engaged over the weekend. 1 year ago, we said hello. Tonight, I said yes. So after 1 year, they went ahead and got engaged. And congratulations to them. Boy, did I see some creepy posts online about this, which, you know what? I'm going to wait till Friday for the creepy posts.
That would be an awesome segment to just compile a couple of them and read them.
Yeah, I've got a few. I just don't want to get into that. I'd rather leave this segment as good for her, because I've got no issue with it. It's fucking good for her, man. I mean,
yeah, like even hypothetically, had she not have gotten married, she wouldn't have gotten married to you. Like that, you wouldn't have just like met her at like Walmart and been like, "Hey, you want to go out?" You'd be like, "Absolutely."
Oh no, I mean, there's like people saying they're going to kill this guy. So we'll get into that later. But once again, man, I mean, and then Alexa gets up with this look on her face. You know, she comes up behind the barrier. Kind of reminded me of old Vince McMahon when he was looking up from the barrier that one time. That picture of Vince evil looking over the barrier. Kind of like that. And then the Fiend music hits, screen goes black, and they're gone. And that's it. That was pretty cool. I thought this was a pretty goddamn good match, and I'm loving these two in this role, like I said. But after that, Smark, we get a little recap. This video package for the Drew vs. Randy match was fucking amazing, dude. I loved this. I love that we got a little recap of Drew's career, even mentioned his release, and then got into what he's done now. Randy, basically all we got was kind of the last few months of Randy, but I liked this. I especially liked the Drew part of this video.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically, it's a good story that they tell. You know, like we were talking about it during the promo segment. You got one person who's like been going back and forth and biting and scratching and clawing to try to get in, stay in, and get back to. And then you have another person who just has been in the company perpetually forever at this point, seemingly. Yeah, man. But
like I said, good shit, great video. Really, really like this video. And then we had the Angel Garza promo. Once again, I see a fucking star in Angel Garza. I like the whole thing he's doing right now. Looks like he's going to be on his own, which I think he needs to be. I think he's, in a way, already overshadowed Andrade a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I think they're both really talented, and I hope that you're right. I hope that he are, but the way that they booked them as a tag team makes me kind of question that.
True, but right now he's doing these promos on his own, so we will see what happens. Let's go ahead and get to this main event and knock out Raw. Don't know how long we've been on already. Let's see here. Mixler. Oh, less than an hour. We had to knock this out pretty quick, actually, Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Drew comes out. He's got his old gear on, the kilt, the sword, and all. I like it. I mean, he pushes the sword into the ramp like, you know, kind of an Excalibur thing. Pyro goes off. I like this. We get Mark Henry on one of the Thunderdome screams watching.
I would have loved if he would have just pulled out like a big old bag of potato chips.
Should have put out a Subway sub.
I was trying my best to avoid that imagery.
Should have put out, what was it? I think it was a meatball sub, actually.
Yep, meatball sub.
Man, I like those from Subway too. That sucks. No, not so much. I actually had one the other day. I had one of those the other day. But anyway, now I'm going to think about Mark Henry when I eat meatball subs. Yeah, we get Mark Henry out there. This match, to me, was pay-per-view quality, man. It really had that, air quote, big fight feel that WWE likes to say. They did well for the small build they had for this match, in my opinion. Yeah. And Randy tried to leave at one point, get counted out. Adam Pearce comes out. Smark, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When did Adam Pearce become GM?
he just decided to be. Nobody challenged him on it. It was a good strategy on his behalf.
All right, Adam
It was
Pearce.
just that 1 week on SmackDown where he walked out and he was just like, all right, I'm making this match and this match and this. And nobody was like, okay, who the fuck is this guy?
Hey, I don't know, but there we go. Makes it a no DQ match. We get chairs and stairs and Randy, like I said, that table, man, that table did not want to sell for these guys. Yeah. By the way, Randy, if you want to know how to go through a table, you might want to talk to Naya. Naya can show you how to do that shit, brother. She'll show you how to make that table not no sell you anymore. All right. I got another question for you, Smark.
All right.
Obviously, the outcome of this match was Drew winning. Drew did take the title back. Do you think they're just fast tracking Randy to try to get him to make that 17th title run to get a record on an active wrestler?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's entirely possible. I mean, he is very close to that record, and I don't think he's going anywhere. Like, he's not going to suddenly become a movie star. They already tried that, and it failed.
Well, yeah, they did. And I saw that movie with him. Again, another one better outside wrestling acting. I saw it. He ain't bad. He ain't bad.
Movie, like the amateur wrestling movie that he was in.
I forget
where it was like the only thing I remember was that in the trailers the lady was like, I'll go to the papers if I have to.
I know the one you're talking about, and I can't remember it though.
I can't remember it either.
Was it the name Foxcatcher? Was it Foxcatcher? No,
but that's close. You're in the genre.
All right. I don't know. Anyway, that's really that. Like I said, my notes on Raw were a little long. Wasn't sure. I kind of took notes to possibly go solo tonight. I apologize for that, but that's Raw. I actually thought Raw was a good show. Besides the Retribution gobbledygook, but not a bad show at all.
No, I thought it was all right.
Yeah, not really bad at all. Like I said. Guess we can. Let me see here. Let me look what we've got here. I'm going to go ahead and get into AEW. Let's go ahead and knock out AEW, Smart. We can tie some news into AEW while we're doing it. I'll tell you what. You know what we can do before we go into that, Smart?
What can we do?
Let's go ahead and tie in this Cody thing. I said Cody was talking about bringing back chair shots safely. Remember, I said that word safely. Unprotected chair shot safely is what he wanted to learn to do, try to do. He was in an interview, trying to figure out where the fuck this interview was at, but he talks about the Fyter Fest and shit like that. Here it is. I'm going to play the audio because there's no way I can do any justice to not doing that. Let me see where the audio is at.
Here was my...
Okay, here we go. Let me get that going one more time here. Here we go. Cody talking about bringing back chair shots to the head.
My objective, and I want people to understand this. Wrestling is violent. Wrestling is violent. People get hurt. This is not ballet. You've heard all this stuff. No, I don't want anyone to get hurt. You know, the art is to make it look like we hurt each other, and then we can go home. That's why we shake hands over and over and over again. If we're going to be held to the same standard as TV and film, which some...
The artist, he just said? You heard that right. The artist.
I don't like the fact that he just said that they shake hands over and over and over again.
Yes. Well, yes. I mean...
Cody, super spreader Rhodes.
Super spreader Cody. Yeah, I'm sure they're wearing gloves now. But anyway, the artist. Not wrestler. They're not wrestlers. They're artists. So here we go once again. That really annoys me. But here we go. Let's keep going.
Some people would like to hold us to those same standards. We have a comparable reach. We have global penetration, pop culture-wise. Well, then, if Captain America can be swinging his shield around, hitting people on the head with it, no one's crying headshots. No one's blaming this modern generation for whatever the hell they did in 1990-something with Mick and Rock and Shamrock. That's not our fault. So I wanted to take chair shots to the head back for the boys. But I wanted to do it safely.
Okay, first of all, they have global penetration.
I was about to say, can we please name the show that?
I think we will. They have global penetration. It sounds like a fucking parody bad guy movie. But, okay. Cody doesn't understand the chair shots in wrestling, and when Captain America hits someone in the head in a movie, it's not real in the movie, Cody. Mm-hmm. I would think someone would have told him this by now, smartened him up on the movie thing. But
they also use guns in the movies, Cody.
Yes, people get shot, and they're still alive, Cody.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So now he did mention, he did say after that the chair was gimmicked for that Sean Spears hit that he took back at Fyter Fest. It was more like a cookie sheet. And he's kind of, said that he was reprimanded by Tony Khan and John Moxley both backstage, but did it anyway. There's no way in the world you cannot bring back chair shots unprotected to the head safely. There's no way to do it. You can gimmick chairs all fucking day long. You cannot fucking do it. Cody, you tried to do it. He accidentally cut your fucking head open like a fucking can opener. You were gushing blood in the ring. And you go on a show and say, I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it safely. You gushing blood is not safely, Cody. This interview just made a fool of Cody. He doesn't know the difference between fucking wrestling and a movie, Smark. And he doesn't understand that him gushing blood in the middle of the ring is not bringing back unprotected chair shots safely. Cody is an idiot.
I mean, I get what he's trying to say, I guess, but more than anything, I get the idea that wrestling's not safe, but you don't need to increase the risk by doing unnecessary things. I can name plenty of really good matches, and even matches that are just regular disqualification, regular standard matches. I'm talking about actual gimmick matches that are really good that have no chair shots.
Right. Yeah. Plenty of matches we can mention that have zero chair shots and are fucking excellent. I wanted to bring it back for the boys. Oh, did you? Then why didn't you let one of the boys take the shot instead of you?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking ego Cody. God damn it. Anyway, taking a shot for Cody being an idiot. How's that?
With his global penetration.
Virtual global penetration clink to the chat room for my shot I'm about to take. Clink to all of you. Thank you for joining. Downloaders of virtual clink to you. An audio clink to you too. Here we go.
Cheers.
Yeah. Me and the wife did way too many last night. She bought this bottle called Infinity Vodka. And she brings it to the counter. And I see the girl at the counter. She pushes a button on the bottom of the bottle, and the bottle lights up with a blue light going through it.
Neat.
It's pretty fucking cool. Meanwhile, we drank the whole bottle last night. I had a clean puke out of the shower, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I ate. I had a peanut butter sandwich. I had some pancakes and syrup. Yeah, I was smoking a little bit, so I got the munchies. But anyway, like I said, I wanted to at least play that because when I heard the audio, I read it and I'm like, maybe this was taken out of context. Okay. I scrolled down, I saw the audio. I'm like, okay, please tell me this was taken out of context. And I heard the audio and I'm like, nope, that's right in context. So, Cody, don't do interviews anymore. I don't even know what else to say, man. But let's go ahead and knock out AEW. I think we can get through that a lot faster. My notes are not as detailed, Smark, for that. First thing I noticed about AEW, and tell me if I'm wrong, but this was a new intro.
You know, I think I'm noticing for sure is that those graphic cards that they have are new.
I think this was all new, and I got to tell you, it was a little kind of had a Raw is War feel to them.
Oh, I can see where you can get that.
Okay, they had that last week, two Antox. Honestly, man, I wasn't paying attention very much last week, but look, man, I got 3 kids. You think it's easy to fucking pay attention to a goddamn show on television? Anyway.
Full disclosure, I watched the last week's episode and then this week's episode immediately afterwards. So if I mentioned something from last week, forgive.
All right. Anyway. All right. New intro. I like it. Not bad. But we started out with this, of course, Young Bucks match with Top Flight. Now, Smark, I know nothing about Top Flight. Do you?
I think they had a couple of dark matches.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know much about these guys, and I apologize for that. I should have looked them up, but I didn't. Once again, though, I was impressed by them. They hung with the Young Bucks great, so I did like that. Of course, the Bucks win. They just became champions, which I'll get into just becoming newly crowned champion in a little later in the show. And then after the match, Angelico and Jack Evans attacks Top Flight, so it seems like they're sticking around.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Angelico and Jack Evans back. That'll be good.
Yeah, you know, they're missing some tag teams for those guys to do matches with. They're flippy dippy, and they don't have that many. I mean, I know they've got some smaller guys there, but what are you going to do? Put fucking those 2 guys in there with fucking Cage and Ricky Starks every week? With Young Bucks every week? You're not going to put Angelico and Jack Evans in those guys every week. So it'd be nice for them to have another team they could actually have a nice little feud with and give these guys a little rub. I mean, not that Angelico and Jack Evans are huge, but they've both done some shit in the business. So, you know, that's all I'm saying.
They're veterans.
In a way. So we'll leave it at that. Now, Smark. We get these Inner Circle Slays Vegas little videos. They obviously did these a while back. I posted a picture in the Dirt Sheet Dudes Facebook of all these guys, all their stories, all their faces told different stories. But I did like the 80s music in the background once again. MJF and Jericho arguing over what shot to take when they're at the bar. They end up doing Everclear. Those were the biggest shots of Everclear I've ever seen in my life. I would pretty much guess that was water.
Dear God, I would hope so.
We got some cameos, though. We got Conan showing up when Santino. Jesus Christ. Ortiz and Santana. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make sure I'm right. I don't know why I have a problem fucking saying that. Said they knew a guy to go to have some more fun. Conan showed up. And Piff the Magic Dragon. Do you know who that is, Mark?
I have no idea. I was kind of expecting the Ultimate Dragon to just be standing there in his gear.
Piff the Magic Dragon was on a few seasons ago. He was on America's Got Talent. He was a comic. Howie loved him. Howie Mandel loved him. The girls didn't, and also Howard loved him. They got what he was doing. They understood that it was just dry comedy. Mel B and who's the other girl?
Heidi
Klum. Didn't really get his humor, but he made it through a few rounds. I like the guy. I think he's hilarious. And I like these segments. I'm sorry. Jericho, you know what? You can sit there and shit on Jericho all you want. The guy is trying to have some fun in his last days in the business. Do we have to shit on that? Is that really worth shitting on?
I wasn't prepared on it, but you saying last days of the business makes me sad. Seems like you making them sound out to be like he's a dog that they're going to put down in like 2 years.
No. Listen, the guy just turned 50 last week. Actually, I believe he turned 50. And I could see him being, like I said, he's going to be involved one way or the other. Jericho's either going to be commentating, or I could see him managing. My God. Do you know how many guys Jericho could get over managing? Really? Do you know how many guys a guy like Jericho could fucking push to stardom by managing?
Oh, for sure. He knows how to get things over.
Right.
That's the hardest thing in the world in wrestling. Mm-hmm. So he definitely is going to have a spot somewhere doing something.
Yeah, but in ring, let's face it, man, how much longer does he really have? At the pace he goes, he ain't going to have much longer. So he's trying to have some fun. Lighten up on the fucking guy. I don't give a shit if he's out of fucking shape. He's 50 years old. If I'm in Jericho's shape at 50 years old, I'm okay with that.
I'm not really even in Jericho's shape now.
Jesus Christ, I'm 45 and I'm not even close to Jericho's shape. I'd be fine with that. So, anyway, we'll get back to that because they do another segment later with a few more cameos in it. We get a little thing, Smark, a little video on something called The History of Revolution. It looks like they're doing a little story about the characters they brought in and the company. Is it too early for something like this, Smark? I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I thought it was actually going to be like a full-on documentary, which that might have been a little bit too early for, too early for, but a nice little pat yourself on the back for 1 year, I guess, is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I guess. And you know what? We'll probably watch it and review it because I do want to see how they go about doing all this. So we will see what happens here.
So wait, it actually is a documentary? I was getting confused because I thought it was at first. But
looks like it.
Yeah, I don't. It's confusing.
It looks like a documentary on the characters, like I said, the people they brought in and the company. So, and Brandy sitting there with her, mimosa on the outside by the pool is, if she's like that the whole thing, I'm just motherfucker.
You can have my $5. Yeah, I'll buy it.
I don't really need to see that, to be honest with you. But anyway,
I'm okay with seeing her in a bikini for an extended period of time.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but sitting there stretched out with your little mimosa in your hand, the orange juice and champagne. No, I don't need to see that. But anyway, after that, we got a great promo by Moxley where he talked about being the underdog and then announced to the world his wife was pregnant. Renee Young is pregnant. Now, I don't know how long. No one knows. And literally my note was, I don't think we knew that. I think he just broke that news. He did. Just break the news that Renee Young is pregnant. So, wow. John Moxley going to be a father. That's pretty fucking cool shit right there, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, he kind of broke that on AEW. I don't know if that was supposed to happen or what, but there we go. Breaking news. Renee Young pregnant. And, good for them, man. Good for them. And, when she left, everyone kind of thought she might have been at that time, which we don't know if she was. But, hey, he's been quarantined a few times. They didn't really have much to do, you know what I mean? I don't blame the guy.
In the immortal words of Dave Chappelle, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, well, he locked that one down. Smart man. He's married to her anyway. So, but anyway, good for them. Renee Young, John. Like I said, John Moxley going to be a father, man. That's that kind of even sounds weird to say.
It sure does.
It kind of does, but I guess we'll see. I don't think he's going to be a bad father. I think he'll actually be a very good father. So we'll see what happens there. And after all that, we get the Orange Cassidy match, which they built up throughout the night with Kip Sabian, Miro on commentary, Penelope Ford at ringside. I love when she does her little split during the entrance. Sabian not letting Orange Cassidy put his hands in his pockets throughout the beginning of the match. Of course, he finally does. I got to tell you, though, once again, Orange Cassidy's talented as fuck, dude. To be able to do a kip up is not the easiest thing in the world, first of all. to do it with your hands in your pockets, dude, that's some fucking talent right there, man.
Oh, absolutely.
That is some fucking talent. You know what? I didn't see as much comedy in this match as we usually do from Orange Cassidy. It was pretty much just not all the way, but we didn't see as much as usual. Orange Cassidy did win the match. Good match on its own. Miro did run down and lay the fuck out of Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, he did.
He took his fucking head off. Best friends come out for the save. Blah, blah, blah. That was that part of it right there.
I do like before the match that you said they were hyping it up, and like Kip gets in his face and he goes, "I demand an apology." And he just goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, "That's not good enough."
Yeah, that was good. Like I said, they built this match up pretty much throughout the night, in the earlier part. But after that, we got the contract signing, which was supposed to be a contract signing with Omega and Moxley. We get the cleaner girls out there again. I'm waiting for the feminists to complain.
Doing their jazzercise.
Yeah, there you go. Moxley's music hits. He doesn't come out. They pan backstage. Moxley's laid out. Was it Omega? Because he didn't seem to give a shit and did sign the contract and say, I think it might have been Omega. Or was it Paige and they're both turning?
That'd be interesting. That'd be a nice little thing. He did kind of mention, though, basically that he's just writing it off as him trying to get out of a match. He said, last time it was your shoulder and now it's a nosebleed.
Yeah. But I think it was Omega. I think we're definitely, yeah. Antok says it was Omega, too. I think it's Omega. Like I said, this heel turn is stirring and stirring and stirring. And I definitely think we're getting a full Omega heel turn coming up very soon, which I got to tell you, I was never really, into the whole New Japan thing. I never really saw a heel turn from Kenny Omega, so I saw clips of it, but I'm interested. I'll watch it. I'll check it out. We'll see what happens. But we do get the Inner Circle Slays Vegas Part 2 Smark.
That's right.
Jericho drunk as fuck. We get an Elvis impersonator. I think that might have been the impersonator I saw, which was Shane Patterson. He's one of the best in Vegas. I think that might have been him. I'm not 100%, but I think that might have been Shane Patterson. He's a good Elvis impersonator. He is a good Elvis impersonator.
And how abruptly things turned to you had a drunken MJF. He's just like, you guys are like brothers, man. You guys are like my blood brothers. And also just Sammy pulls out the knife and goes, "Let's make this official." Like, holy shit, dude, calm down.
It's a big knife he pulled out too, man. It was like a mini Celtic sword.
I thought he was gonna start trying to slit his wrist. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was a big knife. But I did like that. I like that MJF was drunk too, saying that. But I love that I really like that we got the next morning. Mm-hmm. It was kind of hangover-ish, like the movies.
Oh, it was all very hangover-ish.
Right, exactly. Wake up the next morning, Jericho wakes up with Elvis, MJF's crawling out of the tub. He's making fun of Sammy, who's passed out in the fountain. MJF doesn't know he has marker all over his face. I don't know if putting Sammy was here on his face is the right thing to do. I don't know if Sammy
can't draw dick.
Not sure. I'm not sure if Sammy jerked off on his face. But anyway, there's chickens, and we get Hornswoggle to end this segment in a diaper, crying. And then Jericho's on commentary.
Like nothing happens.
But then he's not on commentary after the commercial.
Yeah, he just announced his match for next week.
Pretty much, which I'll announce next week's match coming up in a few minutes here. I think I have those in my notes. I do. They are.
Yeah, we're kind of glossing over that, as Antogs mentioned. Elvis is now officially in the Inner Circle.
Well, dude, it's fucking Elvis.
I would love that to come into play later on.
I hope it does. I mean, I'm obviously...
Like, Elvis impersonator is like Sammy's kind of like conscience or like guidance.
I mean, I'm obviously a big Elvis fan, so, And, people sit there and they call him a pedo and shit like that. And I don't know if anyone knows, but he did wait to sleep with. He did wait to sleep with her. But yeah, Elvis is joining the inner circle. I see that. Antox just posted it. Nice, dude. If really we can get Elvis, if we can get an Elvis impersonator, I would love that shit. So, anyway, but I wouldn't mind. That'd be pretty fucking cool. Thank you,
that
Antox.
tag team, and I think it was TNA, the Flying Elvises.
I think it was.
And that was their gimmick. They were just like Elvis impersonators.
But there actually is a skydiving team called the Flying Elvises.
Huh.
And I believe if you I think they're in what's that movie? With Kurt Russell, Kevin Costner, is it 1,000 Miles to Vegas?
I guess you would know better than I.
I think they're in that. Well, Kurt. I think it's Kurt Russell. I think it's Kevin Costner. Bokeem Woodbine is in that movie, and I think the Flying Elvises are in that movie. I believe they are. But like I said, I really like that segment. I think it was cool. Like I said, Jericho's just trying to have a good time. Leave the man alone. He's having fun, and I think him having fun is making me have fun watching this shit. But I thought that was a good segment with the whole little Vegas thing. Smark, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. That was a lot of fun. I mean, like you said, we kind of ran everything down, but just this sort of, you were waiting to see what the next like weird cameo would be, and that's
Right.
what made it a lot of fun for me, at least.
Yeah, exactly. Now I bet you got some few things to say on this one right here. We got the Blade versus Pac coming out. That match right there with Eddie Kingston on commentary. Pac's first match back since March 11th. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize it'd been that long. The best line in this match, though, to me, was from Eddie Kingston and JR. As they're putting over Pac, Kingston goes, "Are we done putting Pac over?" JR goes, "It's our job, man." And Kingston goes, "Okay."
Yeah, but you can talk about my guy too.
He did.
Yeah, no, my favorite part is when they come back from commercial and JR goes, "Eddie, you are a bright light in a dark night." And you just hear Kingston like go silent and then snicker and then move on.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I whenever he's out there, it's like they try to one up each other. And Kingston's great on commentary. JR ain't taking no shit. JR is out there, and I like it. But this match was actually pretty good, man. Pac did end up tapping out Blade at the end of it. After the match, Pac goes to cut a promo on Eddie Kingston, and Butcher attacks him. Kingston's out there with Pac. Butcher and Blade got him got him held up there. Phoenix comes out to save Pac, whatever. Jesus Christ. Starts getting his ass kicked. Pentagon comes out, though, and saves him. Now, I do got to tell you guys, it looks like we're getting the Death Triangle back. I do want to tell you guys, if you go on a trademark website, Trademarkia, they did just trademark Death Triangle. Yeah. So I would say Death Triangle is back in a big way. We're going to see what happens, but I definitely think that this group is back. Meanwhile, I think we're going to get a good little Death Triangle with Eddie Kingston and Butcher and Blade match coming up next week or the week after.
Yeah, that feud seems to be coming.
I'm
excited for it. I like it.
Yeah, that feud seems definitely imminent right there, and I'm definitely looking forward to that right there. We'll see what happens right there, but good match. Looking forward to what happens with the outcome of it. But after all that, Smark, we got Jade Cargill backstage now. Smark.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Cargill is the girl I was mentioning a few weeks ago when I said who was the girl in neon green standing beside, I think it was Billy Gunn and Austin Gunn, his son. That was the girl I was like just sitting there glistening and gorgeous. That was her. Now, she was backstage attacking Brandy. She came out last week. Smark, you weren't here last week, but she came out last week and, kind of made her debut on the show. She stomped Brandy's arm on a chair tonight. Now, it seems that she actually had a tryout with WWE for NXT. She actually was a former basketball player for college. For the University of Jacksonville. She was trained by QT Marshall at the Nightmare Factory and also trained by Heath Slater at the face-to-face wrestling school, which I didn't even know Heath Slater had a wrestling school.
This is the first I'm hearing of it as well.
No, it's him and Richard Borger training people, but looks like they have signed her. And even Dave Meltzer, when he broke this news that she had a tryout with her, was like, based on her look and athletic ability, I'm surprised WWE didn't sign her. But they did a complete tryout, and there must have been something they didn't like about her. I would guess it's her promo style.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, but she's very into fitness and bodybuilding. Absolute. I mean, I think the girl is gorgeous.
Just the size-wise, she's just a very tall person, very physically kind of imposing.
Yes.
So I feel like she's going to be interesting to watch, at least.
Yeah, she's tall, she's jacked, she's got long legs, she's just...
Kind of, but, taller and, a little bit bigger, getting a little bit of, Linda Miles vibes.
Ah, there you go. Didn't think about that, but I could see where you're coming from there. Jacked, long legs, all right. But yes, Sasha Baron Corbin, she is very bad on promo. She needs work, talking, or a manager. Let's see what they do for her. But she does need a little bit of help, which I'm sure they'll figure out a way to get it for her.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a matter of she needs to calm down a little bit. She's on national television, almost out of nowhere. And it's her first time on TV, and then it was last week, and then this week, So I wouldn't be surprised if the moment was just really big for her. Maybe she gets a little bit more calm, gets a little bit better on the mic.
Yeah, she could. She could calm down a little bit. We'll definitely see what happens with that. But wanted to just, like I said, throw that news into while we were kind of going through AEW on Jade Cargill. But she, like I said, she did stomp Brandy's arm on a chair, maybe taking out Brandy for a while. I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure out what goes on with that. But I like that girl, man. I'm interested in seeing where they go with this. And with her. She did sign a multi-year deal with AEW, so she ain't going nowhere. All right. We get the Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa match for the NWA Women's Championships, Mark. I think this might have been the best match I've seen in AEW for the women.
And what's fun about that is I feel like you said that about the last match that they had.
I think so, but I think this match beat it, man. I think this was the best match between the two.
Well, and I think it's one of those things where we always talk about how we really enjoy matches where they just lay it into each other.
Yeah.
And that was one of those cases where it's just going strike for strike, blow for blow, big shots. And I will say real quick, a quick diversion. I wouldn't be surprised if people start bitching about this. When they started the match, pretty much right when they started the match, they decided to plug the heels thing.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh because it was Tony Schiavone or whatever was yeah, and the AEW heels, it's a great group for women that are fans of professional wrestling, and they like to talk about it and interactivity and things that they do as groups and whatever. And JR goes, "Do they have bake sales?" I'm like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
I didn't hear that.
You're gonna get in so much because you just hear Tony go, "I don't know," and then move on.
Oh shit! I didn't catch that. Holy shit, JR! I told you.
Dude,
don't give a fuck. JR is back, baby.
Fuck.
JR ain't giving a fuck no more, man. He don't give a fuck. What are you gonna do? Fire me? Go ahead. Fuck you. But I really thought this was a great match between these two. I mean, they're both very talented, and I just thought it was a good match. Britt Baker, right around the end of the match, starts attacking Thunder Rosa, but with Reba or Rebel, whatever you want to call her, down there screaming at the ref, distracting her. Didn't really matter. Thunder Rosa kicked out, but Deeb did end up retaining. But like I said, man, I thought this was a really good match. These two got great chemistry. They need to put these two on more. Not too much more, but more.
Right.
So, but yeah, love this match. Now, we got another little segment backstage, and then we're going to get to the main event. And Antox is asking if I noticed something. We got 3 women's angles going on. Yes, we do at the moment. He's right. That's not bad for AEW because they had none going on. They were just kind of throwing matches together in a way. But after that, we got the John Silver backstage with Anna Jay. Looks like Silver is kind of grasping a little more of a comedy role since his match with Orange Cassidy. Smark, you noticed that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree on that. Because it's pretty obvious what they're doing with him. They're kind of making him a little more of a comedy. I hope that doesn't mean they're going to make Dark Order a whole comedy thing, which they've been doing a little bit lately.
I don't think they will. I think they're just more of like they want to make him that be more of his stick of just being like the over the.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But I said last week this guy impressed the shit out of me, and I liked him. So we'll see what happens with that. But next week we get Will Hobbs in action, which we'll talk about Will Hobbs in just a minute here. Pac and Phoenix versus Butcher and Blade. Jericho and Hager versus SCU. Daniels returning with Kazarian. I wasn't sure if he was going to return, but Daniels is coming back to wrestle a match with Kazarian next week. So some good matches next week already, man.
Yeah, it'll be fun next week, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But let's go ahead and knock out this main event. We got Cage and Starks versus Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes. We get Taz on commentary for a little while. Smark, I got to ask you something here.
Sure.
Do you buy Cody Rhodes as this, like, unstoppable force they're trying to put him in as? With, like, Darby Allin can't sit there and do anything to Brian Cage, but Cody Rhodes goes in there and starts killing him. Are you buying this at all?
No. Like, you were talking about, they were saying on commentary that he's their ace, as it were. So they're basically like trying to make him into being like a John Cena type,
right? And
that's like the most ridiculous shit that I could possibly think of.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm just not buying it. Look, I get it. He's one of your main guys. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not. I got no problem with that. But I just don't buy Cody as this big badass that they're making him out to be. I really don't. And I'm glad I'm not the only one. I didn't think I was. I'm sure a lot of people are saying the same thing. But, and it's not.
I mean, you can pick other archetypes to try to. He doesn't have to be like I said, the John Cena or the Hulk Hogan. He could be like the fucking Shawn Michaels, the Bret Hart or whatever. You could benefit from his skills being used in other ways.
Right. Right. But they want him as the, like you said, the Cena, the Triple H. They want him as that character instead. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I mean, Cage is fucking a giant compared to him. But I guess, Cody is the giant killer, as they're saying now. During picture-in-picture, Taz went ringside during this match, right before picture-in-picture. During the picture-in-picture, Arn threw a chair in the ring, and we had no clue why. But he got thrown out of ringside. Cage and Starks do end up picking up the win. Now, my problem with Cage and Starks picking up the win is the fact that they pinned Darby Allin. They pinned your newly crowned TNT champion because Cody has a fucking ego problem.
That makes me laugh. I was curious if you had noticed that too, because that was actually going to be my gripe. Was that you do all this hoopla about making a big deal out of him being the new champion, which as you should.
Right.
But you got this video package that you play before the match starts of him celebrating with his title in his own unique way. And, they're doing everything they can to put it over, and then you have him lose immediately. It's like, why?
Yeah, he eats the pin. Why couldn't Cody eat that pin? Seriously. Or make it a near or DQ. This to me felt like they didn't want to damage Cody's ego. I could be wrong. I could be looking too deep into this, but it almost seemed like that's what they wanted to do. And Cody's like, well, he beat me last week. He can eat a pin this week. Fuck it. No. No, it doesn't look fucking right. It doesn't look fucking right at all doing that.
It doesn't.
No. And again, it's just my opinion and your opinion. So, but I just didn't think it was right to do that. After the match, we get Starks and Cage. They continue attacking Allen and Cody. Will Hobbs comes out, we think, to save them, but he holds up the FTW title, and then he hits Cody with a chair. Hobbs turns, joins Team Taz.
He fucking went down like a... Really sold that one pretty well.
Yeah, he did. Well, Cody's trying to bring back chair shots for the boys. Safely for the boys. Let me put that out there. So I don't know, but AEW was really a good show tonight. I did really like the show. They had a lot of their getting to the point where they're moving into and furthering storylines.
Well, they got 2 weeks now to build their next pay-per-view.
Right.
But we're going to be seeing a lot of shit like we saw this week, where it's just bang, 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 bang. We need to set up this match, and this match.
Yeah, and I think them only having the one show, I think, is actually benefiting them right now. I mean, I know they have Dark, but the one show on television, I think, is benefiting them right now.
Right.
Because they have time to write the shows. They have time to build the feuds correctly. So it just kind of works out like that. I just see it work. I just think they're having a better time. They've got more time. They've got more, they don't have, okay, well, shit, we got to write SmackDown, and then we can figure out what we're doing on the pay-per-view, and then they don't have all that. So I think it's showing. So
I would agree.
All right, we've got a few more things here. That was AEW. Now, Smark. Friday, we talked about, or I actually ended up talking about Zelina Vega. She ended up being let go on Friday, released on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had talked about the fact that she had just started getting a push. We saw her go against Asuka at Clash of Champions. She lost, but still, attacked her and still was about to get a push. Now, what was your kind of opinion on her getting released 10 minutes after she put out that tweet about supporting unionization?
I mean, it wasn't a surprise, I would say. I think, that's just my overall reaction to that part of it. But, overall, in general, is an entirely different issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, according to Sports Illustrated, they put out an article here that says the OnlyFans was really the last straw. Now, we talked about this. She put it out as a name, Megan Minx. I believe it's Minx. And she wasn't doing nudes. She was doing lingerie. She was doing cosplay, things like that, bikinis, stuff like that. But WWE was not going to just be like, okay, we're going to take a piece of your Twitch. You give us this much. No, they were going to take over they're supposedly taking over all of it, and then they will give them a portion, from what I read, being tacked on to their downside guarantee of their contract.
Right.
So they're not even going to really make money off of that. It's just going to go towards a piece of their contract. So, and some of these people, like Paige, is making tons of money off of this. 6 figures Paige is making off of Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to take that from her? Now, I know Paige is a different story because she's not also an active wrestler right now. She can't wrestle. I think they might be leaving her alone. She also changed it to her real name. She looks like she's kind of complying. But it looks like the OnlyFans might have been the last straw for her. And from what I'm hearing, according to Meltzer, also, she refused to give up her accounts. She told him no. So they made an example of her, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, was that she was making more money off of that than she was making being in the company. So she pretty much, basically, she wasn't going to give up those accounts. And and that was the thing, is we talked about it, if everybody formed a unified front and they were just like, no, fuck you, we're not giving up these accounts, then they pretty much, they would have ended up doing, I guess, what they did to her, but, it would have been a lot on a mass scale like that, but...
Yeah, and according to Meltzer, this is what he's, this is a little quote from Meltzer, he's put out a little update on the situation. Basically, here it is. As you know, talent was given a time frame to get rid of their Twitch and Cameo accounts. Tia Trinidad, Zelina Vega, did not get rid of hers, and she opened up an OnlyFans account as well. So one person told me, that's Dave Meltzer, there's a couple of women that are making more money with their social media than they are with WWE. One of those women was Zelina Vega. She's making a lot of money on her Twitch. She made her choice, and they had to fire her. They didn't have to. There are two different tiers of contracts right now in WWE. There are contracts that were handed out for lucrative amounts of money once AEW was formed, and there were the ones that were signed before AEW. She was part of that group. I know there's this idea that since you're in WWE, you can make ridiculous amounts of money, and many do and many don't. A lot of them have low guarantees, but you are still making a good deal of money due to house shows, which they're not doing anymore. We know that. Now, instead of working 180 days a year, you're working 52 or 58 days with pay-per-views. So there's no house show money coming in for talents. That money's gone. It benefits the company by not having house shows and saving costs. We know that. We've talked about that, Smark.
Absolutely, yeah.
To finish, I have two more paragraphs from Dave Meltzer. Now, with only 1 day a week talent, we're figuring out ways to make money in their time off to augment the money they were losing. And now WWE is trying to take that money away from them. But from WWE's side, I understand where they're coming from. They own the name you're trying to make money off and your wrestling name and not your real name. Megan Minx was completely neither a wrestling name nor her real name on her OnlyFans. So I think she thought she might have found a workaround, and it didn't work. Also, from a corporate standpoint, they want to do their own deal with Twitch. They're working on it now after seeing the money certain people were making. But the independent contractor aspect comes into play because if they were employees, true employees, WWE could do this. You're figuring out ways to make money on the side when you're not when you're not a full-time employee. It's, again, that independent contractor is a slippery fucking slope. Very, very slippery slope. It doesn't mean that you're not an employee all the time. Especially not when you have a contract.
Right.
Especially not when you have a contract. So it's tough. It's a tough little thing to work out, but I don't know, man. I think they just wanted to make an example of her, more than likely, to be honest with you. But I don't know, man.
I think what you're saying about the whole independent contractor thing, but I think based on what I was hearing from what Meltzer was talking about on the Observer, was that you're an independent, if you're an independent contractor, if you're working for them as an independent contractor, that covers, wrestling. Right. And that this Twitch thing essentially was an element outside of wrestling all its own. So it'd be if I was making a house for you or whatever, and then I also made money fixing VCRs, and you're like, well, that's not going to work. Stop fixing VCRs. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, and according to Sports Illustrated, they did not fire her for doing any of that. They were basically using breach of contract. Stephanie McMahon was one of them that was definitely saying it was breach of contract, and they were able to terminate her contract because of it. Now, there's a little kick to this, though, Smark.
Mm-hmm.
John Alba of Spectrum Sports received a statement from SAG, or AFTRA, which is the Screen Actors Guild, or and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. The president of the company got a hold of this news and said wrestling is as much about media as it is sports, and we're going to directly engage with members of this profession to help find ways for them to protect themselves. As more people reinvest in unions and as more working people are harassed by employers who don't want to protect them, SAG-AFTRA is committed to doing what we can to help professional wrestlers secure the protections they deserve. So SAG is saying they're going to jump in whether Vince likes it or not. This is going to be some fucking Jimmy Hoffa shit, dude.
I'm telling you, they would have been a lot easier for them if they would have just let them keep using their Twitches.
It really would have been.
And for sure that there's going to be anything that comes out of this, but there's been so much time and energy and negativity and bad press thrown in their direction that all of it could have been averted by just being like, you know what, fine, just do your fucking thing.
It really could have. And you know what? They're picking a bigger fight than they understand here. I don't think they understand what's going to happen. First of all, the independent contractor thing is going to come into question, which they're going to be able to cover their ass on that. They've been doing this for years. I fully believe their attorney knows what they're doing. Don't expect that to change. Don't expect wrestling to become unionized. It's not going to happen. Listen, unionizing would be great for the protections of wrestlers. It would be. But that's where it stops, people. That's where it stops. These people will make way less money. They will not be offered the contracts they were. They will have to. I'm telling you, we will not get. You're going to get people leaving. This will not work. It will not work. Like I said, great for protection against the wrestlers, but if every single one of their people joined SAG and was unionized, I've gone through it before. It's not going to be good. Indies will die.
And I mean, there's other unions too, and there's other potentially the idea of kind of working to create a union all its own for wrestling specifically, not just incorporating them into the SAG umbrella, but actually creating how sports leagues have their own union, the NFL players union, NBA union, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying for sure that that's going to happen, but I think something's going to happen where there's some form or code that kind of benefits the talent more than has been in place already. Because I think this is going to get very ugly very quickly.
Yeah, I do too. Unfortunately, I definitely see this not going well for WWE at all. We'll see what happens, but I think they might have opened a can of worms that they really, really do not want to mess with. And I don't know. Like I said, I guess we will find out about what's going to happen there. But I think this is going to be a much bigger story, especially if like I said, it's last week, like I said last Friday, it's looking like Biden's going to be in office, and that's going to be another bone of contention for WWE. They're not going to have Trump protecting them anymore, and this could end up being a very different WWE in the long run. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we will see what happens. I know Wrestle Kingdom's coming up soon, right, Smark?
Sure is January.
January, do not expect to see any AEW's wrestlers there. They are not allowed to compete at that event. Obviously, I know right now we do have a little travel problem going on anyway, but it's been, I mean, we've been saying that Tony Khan is going to kind of tighten up and not let a lot of the guys do this. Now, it's not written in stone, as Meltzer is saying, but as of right now, you're probably not going to see many of these guys over there. And as Meltzer says, one more quote, it's funny because the people at New Japan who are wrestling want the relationship as well, but in Japan it's been hard for some to get through the bad feelings of working with someone who took so much talent. But at the same time, that they can have access to that talent needed for big events once the pandemic is over, if they make a deal. And most of the guys weren't working full tours anyway. So basically, New Japan's a little pissed that they took some of their talent. I get that. But
I mean, Moxley is their U.S. champion.
Yeah, exactly. So I get where they're pissed off there, but again, not written in stone. May change by then. It wouldn't hurt to have a working relationship with them if the travel bans are, lifted by then. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But as of right now, do not expect to see anyone on any AEW wrestlers on that show.
I wouldn't. I kind of wonder if maybe this could be used as a bartering tool, because I kind of get. I would like to see, just as a fan, obviously, them, the AEW people that have done the Wrestle Kingdom shows, and Moxley, Jericho, Omega people there. But at the same time, from Tony Khan's perspective, how does that benefit them? It would be cool if maybe they could strike up a deal where, in exchange for this person or that person, we get somebody from New Japan showing up in AEW for a match or two.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what they're trying to do. Kind of be like, look, I know we took a lot of your guys, but maybe we can work something out here. But they'd have to leave by December 20th to be there for the January 4th show, is what they're saying. I don't see the travel ban being lifted by then. December 20th ain't too far away. I mean, what is today, to the 18th?
Right.
Yeah, so November. So, like I said, Meltzer said it's not written in stone, but I don't see a lot of it happening. So I wouldn't expect to see any of them over there. But usually still a good show. We'll talk about that another time. I've only got two more things. Smark, you put up one of the articles, and then we'll end with the PWI tag team ranking. Go and talk about that little JTG article, Smark.
Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to. What he was saying was that recommending that Shad Gaspard not be nominated, but receive a Warrior Award. Which would be an interesting thing because, the Warrior Award originally was set up for, or was intended to be kind of a way to nominate some, or not nominate, but celebrate some of the unsung heroes within the kind of WWE production team, and
right.
The people that don't get the light shined upon them quite so much. But then that obviously kind of turned into it being more about people who battled adversity. They used it a lot at first initially to kind of highlight their relationship with the Susan G. Komen and the kids with the cancer, because that was the first kid that won it. I believe I forget what his name was exactly, but I know that he had cancer and he had overcome that. So, but yeah, the article just now comes up, I think. But this is from Wrestling News.
Yeah, WrestlingNews.co. And yeah, he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. That's right. Go for it, man.
I thought you were going to take the lead on that. So.
Oh, I can. I got it right here. That's fine. I can do it. But hey, he did. He spoke with Chris Van Vliet. And I got to say, I can't disagree with anything he's saying right here. We all know what happened with Shad Gaspard. He was at Venice Beach with his son. taken away by a riptide moments after they got in the water. He saved his son but couldn't save himself. JTG believes that Gaspard should get the WWE Warrior Award for the sacrifice he made. I can't deny that. JTG's exact words were he definitely should. I don't know what's a bigger heroic act than putting his life on the line for his son, but honestly, he would have done it if it was another child. If it was me, he probably would have done the exact same thing. So I would say if you actually sit there and talk about what a warrior is, I think you could put Gaspard right up on there, right up on that fucking list. A warrior does sacrifice himself for the good of others, and especially for his kid. And I think maybe I don't know if they'll do it. I don't know what they're going to do this year for the Hall of Fame, if they do anything, if they're going to do it virtual, what they're going to do, which I would think they would do it virtual. But I agree. I would really like to fucking see that, to be honest with you. I would really like to see that. I think that would be a great thing for Shad's family to see, to kind of get back in there and, do that. I think it would be nice. I would love that. Man, got me a little choked up here. Go ahead, Smark.
I know I would agree with that too, because I just feel like it would be a nice way to kind of honor and commemorate his memory. He did, the time when he ended up passing, they did put a little, graphic on the TV for him. And I get that he wasn't like a huge force within their company. He wasn't a main eventer, didn't hold or anything, but like the kind of life that he lived, I feel like he deserved maybe a little bit of something else other than just kind of a, title card. So yeah. Hopefully they can end up doing that for him just as a way to celebrate who he was and the kind of life that he may lived.
Yeah, great guy, very intelligent, lived a great life, obviously a great father. Like I said, when you talk about that award, Warrior did want it for, he mentioned cameramen and production guys and things like that. And you're right, they did sort of exploit it in a different way. But that was not a slip of the tongue. I meant the word exploit because that's kind of absolutely. That was not a Freudian slip. I didn't mean one thing and say my mother. I did not mean that. I knew what I was saying. They have exploited it in a different way, and I would like to see him bring it back a little bit. Not that they ever did any, not bring it back. I would like to see him bring it to someone like this.
Yeah, kind of make it something good instead of making it something cheap.
Yeah, well, it's still a tragic story that he passed away, but his son is alive, and obviously that's what he wanted. So I would definitely like to see something like this in WWE. And let's face it, it's a great story. I think WWE might do this now that it's been put to the forefront. This article was just posted today. Now that it's out there, maybe they'll think about doing something like this, and that'd be nice. That'd be very nice to do. So time will tell. Like I said, we'll see what they're doing this year for the Hall of Fame. I could see them doing it virtually again, like they've been doing. But I guess to wrap it up, Smark.
Taking her on home.
There we go. PWI has put out their top tag teams, their top 50 tag teams. We don't have the whole list yet. The article is not out yet, but we do know who took number one. PWI did congratulate FTR for being ranked number one in the inaugural PWI Tag Team Top 50. They did respond. Dax said, every decision we've made has ultimately been about our legacy. Grand Slam champions, an emotional career-defying match at Full Gear, and the number one ranked tag team, all in 2020. Thank you to everyone who's been on this ride. This is the stuff I live for. Cash said, love us, hate us, agree, disagree. Everyone is entitled to their opinions. That doesn't take away the pride we feel we take in our craft. It doesn't take away the passion we put into our profession. In our hearts, we're the best tag team on earth, so this is special to us. Smark. 2020 FTR. You think they were the best tag team to pick as number one for this?
I mean, personally, no, based on personal preference. But I mean, I guess I could see, like, if you're gonna put, they gave the number one spot to Moxley from the singles competitor, and FTR will be the tag team champions at the time that they made the list and it came out. But I say that to see they don't really give any other teams that they put on here.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the criteria here is momentum, wins and losses.
Yeah,
activity and it factor.
Yeah, they're saying some of the teams were Hangman and Adam Page, SCU, the Lucha Brothers. But I gotta tell you, I agree with you. Like you said, personal preference, I don't really care for them. But in 2020, I guess if you say who was one of the most talked about tag teams out there, I guess you could say that it was them. I would throw Lucha Brothers up there. I don't know where they ranked. We'll find out. Honestly, I think they actually had a better year than FTR. FTR was kind of not even around for some of the year. So I don't know. This seems like a bit of a AEW, kind of to me. A little bit of a blowjob, if you will, for FTW. FTR, I mean. Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, Antox, yeah, they were released in March. They showed up in May. But they just, I mean, but what have they done that no other fucking tag team has done in this world? What, they left WWE and found another job? Okay, that's been done before. They've had decent matches, not great matches. I got to tell you, I think the Young Bucks matches are better than their matches. And I'm not even a big Young Bucks fan.
Honestly, I think I would have just played it safe and just gave it to the New Day.
New Day, better tag team.
And I mean, equally successful in the year period. Shit. Plus, if your criteria is the it factor, you cannot look me in the eye and say that FTR has more of an it factor than the New Day.
I'd take Heavy Machinery over fucking FTR at this point as a better tag team. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I definitely want to see the list and see who's below that. We will talk about it when the full list comes out. I think the article comes out. I think the actual you can actually order. You can pre-order your copy right now of the PWI. I don't know when this comes out, but we will definitely. Might not come out till January. It's actually saying this is their 2021 PWI Tag Team Special. So I don't know. We will definitely find out. We'll talk about that a little more. Antox is saying that Young Bucks probably wasn't in the top 10. Really? My God! I mean, the year they've had, the matches, the storylines, the same match every fucking time. Every fucking time. Same. Young Bucks. Get your shit in. Anyway, I really have nothing else. I think that might be it, Smark.
Yeah, I feel like maybe us bashing FTR again is as good a place as any to call it.
I mean, it just kind of gets old. It's just getting old,
As does their act.
Yeah, you're right. I'm stalling time. I'm getting the song loaded up here for the end of the show.
I understand, but yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good week of shows. Raw.
Yeah. We still got NXT to talk about, SmackDown to talk about on Friday. Like I said, we will most definitely be doing predictions for Survivor Series, best of the best. All I can think of is Eric Young or Eric Roberts is somewhere going, why don't they give me royalties? Poor Julia Roberts, poor brother. But anyway, remember, he was in Best of the Best. along with Chris.
And we're talking about random movie-related things. I got to admit, I cannot hear Top Flight. I can hear the name Top Flight without picturing Mike.
Oh, you broke up there without picturing what?
I said I can't hear the name Top Flight without thinking about Mike Epps from Friday After Next. You're like, we're the top flight security of the world, Craig.
God, I love that movie. They were all good movies. I got it in their own way, but I did too. I actually did too, man. I like Ice Cube, and I like Chris Tucker. He really fucked up his career though, being an asshole. Chris Tucker, he really did, man. He did. He really did. He fucked up his whole career. He did. He had a great career going there, man. But all right. On that note, let's take this home while you take your drunken ass home. And, of course, I want y'all to check out the High Marks. That's Cheese Man. That's Mojo. That's G-Wiz. You want to be checking those guys out. Mixer.com/Metal Mitt Network. There's 2 T's in Mitt. You want to check them out. 8:30 p.m. Sunday nights. That is Eastern time, by the way. And, of course, you got Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades on The Inhuman Experience. You subscribe to that, you're getting much more than just that show. 100% want to subscribe to that on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. Eric, Doug, the whole cast of characters over there. Find them on Blog Talk Radio. I think they're on Fridays. I know they're on Sundays. Definitely want to check those guys out. All the usual podcast platforms, too. And Letterboxd, boxd.com/Stephen Milan. Want to check out him over there reviewing movies. We appreciate him sharing the show. Subscribe, rate, review. Follow us on Spreaker. You can find us on Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Google, TuneIn, Player FM, anywhere you find good podcasts. Go for it, Mark.
All right, Cheese on Sports Mondays, 8:30, Metal Mint Podcast Network. That's where you go. And, of course, be sure to check out our friends at Planet Raccoon Tour. This is Planet Raccoon Tour podcast with Bobby Anthem, with Papa Dave Sincere, and with Yuck Nasty. Up to episode. That's 15 episodes for you to choose from. You can listen to them in order. You can listen to them at random. You can listen to them in reverse order. Any way you want to. Do it, but do it now.
Oh, just binge listen to the motherfucker. Start at 1. Keep going from there. You will not be disappointed. All right, folks, on that note, we will be back on Friday. Plenty more to talk about. Predictions for Survivor Series. And like I said, we got plenty more to get into. Some really nasty people with Alexa Bliss. And more. And for that, I appreciate the chat room. I appreciate the downloaders. Smark, I appreciate you coming on back. And that is it. See ya.
Yes.
Hit the door, we're going on. It's time to take the band home. It's all right. If you don't know what to do with yourself, take your drunken ass home.